The exhibition is a celebration of the artistic dimension of the automobile. But it's a wider scan, a holistic view of art and design in the widest sense, breaking down the traditional barriers. The exhibition is a sequence. It's several galleries, and each gallery is self-contained, but perhaps ideally you would start at a gallery called Beginnings. And it shows the birth of the automobile, the first automobile. This first gallery takes you from the box-like to the streamlined, and it contains works by Brancusi, works for the wind tunnel by Paul Geret, the father of streamlining. So you see the anticipation of artists with extraordinary works who anticipated this streamlined age. There is a cultural visual link which works the automobile arguably as a work of art, together with all the other forms of art and design. We then move from there into a gallery which is totally white, no distractions, just 4 automobiles, amongst the rarest, most beautiful, and 2 major works of art by Calder and Henry Moore. And we can see, without anybody telling us, the links between the curvaceous forms of Henry Moore's bronze reclining figures and the fairings, the shapes of some of these incredible, rare, priceless automobiles. So as you move around the communication spaces, you discover a corner. It's like a hollow. And that is from the Tramwork collection of models, of toys, tinware, over the ages. And then as you carry on, you come across, on one side of a bridge, Richard Serra's sculptures in the rich patinated corten steel brown, and then immediately next to you is the clay modeling studio, here by General Motors. So if we move to the next gallery, Popularizing, really the theme is miniaturization, and different countries culturally came up with different answers, but an extraordinary explosion of design ingenuity and absolute classics, from the Volkswagen Beetle to the Mini, related to the miniskirt, to the pop music. So this is kind of chock full of these amazing vehicles, even a bicycle. So a room full of innovation, miniature automobiles. And then we move from there to sporting, and we see these beautiful objects, the Ferrari 250 GTO, the E-Type Jaguar, the DB5 of Bond fame, literally the one with all the gadgets, with the film of the Bond movies next to it, the same extraordinary automobile. And again, that's all related to the cultural works of painting, sculpture, photography, relating to these extraordinary vehicles. And then from there to a huge gallery, which is called Visionaries. And Visionaries about those pioneers. It's the gallery in which we're talking here. So it has the 3 General Motors concept cars, one of which are anticipated in the 1950s, autonomous driving, the other turbine, alternative forms of propulsion, links into the world of aerodynamics and aircraft, huge paintings, Formula One, heroic photographs by Gursky, the Dymaxion of Buckminster Fuller, which I have a very close personal relationship to. works by the Futurists, and you can see the links between these visionary, extraordinary works of aerodynamic engineering, just beautiful sculptural forms echoed in the works of the Futurists of an earlier period. The way that as a foundation team we have treated the architecture of Frank Gehry's galleries, we celebrate the space. It's possibly the first exhibition which doesn't have any physical intrusions. It celebrates the space. And we move from here to Americana, and on axis is the big finned Cadillac Eldorado. Extraordinary scale, and of course America is America. It is the endless perspective of the open road, and we see different aspects from the muscle car, the Mustang, the hot rod of the 30s, the Cadillac I mentioned, the Jeep, and related to that are works by Ed Rushker, John Chamberlain, the crushed elements of a Detroit product. So there's a cultural link and affinity between these different worlds of automotive design, painting and sculpture. When we leave the last of the 6 galleries and we make a giant leap into the future, is a corridor. And that corridor is like a sound tunnel. Now, those sounds go from the galloping of a horse to eventually the quiet of an electric vehicle. But in the middle, this extraordinary cacophony that is the other dimension of the age of the internal combustion engine. And arguably, its celebration, the end of an age, of an epoch, perhaps then on the edge of that, the age of electric propulsion, which is the Future Gallery, one of the largest, and we devote that to the works of students who, with their professors from 16 schools around the world, have had the complete freedom to imagine mobility at the end of the century. So that generation has the unlimited scope, only limited by imagination, to envisage mobility at the end of this century.